The meeting reiterated a critical need for the conduct of a population and housing census 17 years after the last census to collect up-to-date data that will drive the developmental goals of the country and improve the living standard of the Nigerian people. The president noted that with the completion of the enumeration area demarcation of the country, conduct of first and second pretests, the recruitment and training of ad hoc workers, procurement of personal digital assistants. He also commended the methodology being put in place by the Commission to conduct accurate and reliable census, especially the massive deployment of technology that is capable of delivering world-class census and laying a sustainable basis for future censuses. The president further directed the Commission to continue with preparations for the conduct of the 2023 population and housing census in order to sustain the gains already recorded and provide the basis of the incoming administration to consolidate these achievements. The meeting was attended by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mr. Zainab Ahmed, the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, the Minister of State, Budget and National Planning, Mr. Clem Agba, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Bas Mustafa. Still on top stories of the day, we have that President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria's size and resources have imposed on her a stabilizing role in the West African sub-region and the African continent as a whole. This was while receiving a special envoy from President Ibrahim Ghali of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Buhari said peace and stability are central to the vision of Nigeria in Africa, explaining that these were essential to security and prosperity on the continent. He thanked the president of the Sahrawi Republic for the message he sent and gave an assurance that he will study its content and brief the incoming president Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on their concerns. The Special Envoy and Minister of Diplomatic Affairs, Muhammad Saleh, recalled that President Buhari, as military head of state in 1983, was the first African leader to recognize the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, paving the way for its recognition by the then Organization of African Unity, now the African Union. He said history will not forget his important role in leading the fight for African freedom. Ambassador Saleh expressed the sadness of his country in President Buhari leaving office and hoped that the Tinubu government will maintain the same interest in the independence struggle. He urged the president to continue to maintain relevance in the affairs of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic and that of the entire continent. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government says the first batch of Nigerian evacuees from Sudan who have arrived at Aswan are expected to be airlifted to Nigeria in the coming hours by the Nigerian Air Force and Air Peace Airline. A joint statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and that of Humanitarian Disaster Management and Social Development says the first batch of 13 buses conveying 637 evacuees had arrived to the identified safe borders at Aswan, Egypt, and are undergoing necessary documentation and clearance before admission into the Egyptian territory for their eventual evacuation to Nigeria. The statement adds that the movement of the second batch of 29 buses will commence on Saturday, 29th April 2023. The evacuees are therefore advised to be at the designated locations with only one language. The statement says, contrary to insinuations on the social media, embassy staff are very much on ground in Khartoum to coordinate the evacuation exercise to the very end. The students and other Nigerians awaiting evacuation from Khartoum, Sudan, are therefore advised to cooperate with them in order to ensure orderliness and proper documentation while embarking on the buses. This will go a long way in speeding up the process and avoiding unnecessary delays with documentation and clearance upon arrival. The federal government empathizes with the affected Nigerians, maintaining order amidst the desperate situation remains crucial to getting all interested Nigerians out of the war zone in record time before the expiration of the ceasefire, which has been extended by 72 hours. And now to the stories that made rounds during the week. We have that Lagos State Government, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, says Nigerians should expect yet another administration they will be proud of when President-elect Bola Tinubu is sworn in May 29. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who visited the President-elect in Abuja, spoke confidently about his trust in the ability of the incoming president.
That I think he has started engaging himself with, and begin to filter, who best fit what. I imagine, those are the kind of things that will be running through his mind now. And so what Nigerians should be expecting, they should be expecting a Mr. President that should be ready for the job from day one. A Mr. President that should be able to give a renewed hope, as has been said in his manifesto, for our country, for the biggest black nation on earth. And I would not expect anything less from him. And all I could say is we should exercise a bit of patience, and when that cut-off date comes in, positive, patience to say that we are, going to be supporting this man. We believe, in all of the promises that he has given to us. Let us just all wait and see how it turns out, all of these great promises that is given to the country.
During the course of the week, we also have that another step forward for the solid minerals sector in Nigeria as information in the mining industry goes digital with the inauguration of National Geodata Center in Abuja. Mia Ugido reports that the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Damilekon Adigbite, inaugurated the project.
Mines, mining for minerals. But the discovery process is through trials, and for foreign investors, a journey of million miles to take a business decision. The Mines Minister, Olamilekon Adigbite, may be leaving office a few days from now, but feel fulfilled.
We've joined the League of Nations that are ready to do mining.
And this project is responsible for that satisfaction. A National Geodata Center with its headquarters at the newly renovated Nigerian Geological Survey Agency office, Abuja, and branches at the National Raw Materials Research Institute, Kaduna, and the NJSA branch office in Kaduna State.
On the eve of the departure of this administration, to be able to commission this National Geodata Center, it's a major milestone. And this will catapult us to the next level, because now a lot of people who often call me, come to the ministry, look for ways of getting information about mineral deposits. You don't have to do that anymore. This National Geodata Center is even linked with the website of the NGSA, and subsequently will be linked with the website of the ministry as well. So even just going on those websites, you can get a link to give you the information you want.
The Geodata Center provides a solution whereby you put all this information together and investors can just check. I want information on gold locations in Nigeria, access it from whether you are in the UK, you are in Nigeria, you are in South Africa, you can access it.
Executed by Mindiver with a technical support from the British Geological Survey, Mines and Steel Development Ministry through the Geodata Center makes mining more attractive to foreign and local investors. Mia Ogidi, NTA News.
You're still watching Saturday Review on NTA Lagos Channel 10. More to come after this time out. So stay tuned.
Education
Bets. Take part in promotion with cool prizes. Bet on the any sports events. Get tickets. Have a chance to win cool prizes. The more you bet, the greater your chances. Use promo code to get a welcome bonus right now.
And some of them get pregnant, some of them do go to farms, and I feel that it's like these girls need an education so that they can also come and make an impact to the other generation behind them. So I feel that the girl really needs, they're a germ in the society that needs to be pampered. And when you show them the right way to follow, it's like they'll take the world by storm. Okay, recently we're at Wari Area Council at Budupe, and we went there, we shared face masks for them. This is our first time of flagging of our NGO, so we shared face masks to them. We're giving them a scholarship so that they can go to school, and we also intend to give them education on the guidelines on COVID-19, because the COVID-19 is real.
The NTA Lagos Channel 10 hereby advise the general public to make their suggestions, observations, and complaints on our transmission and programs to the following numbers: 006-286-9036 or 0810-910-6416, or email us at ntalagoschannel10gm@gmail.com or lagoszone@nbc.gov.com.
NTA 10, station for excellence.
Lucky Spring from 1xBet. Take part in promotion with cool prizes. Bet on the any sports events. Get tickets. Have a chance to win cool prizes. The more you bet, the greater your chances. Use promo code to get a welcome bonus right now.
You're welcome back. May 1st, also known as International Workers' Day or May Day, is a day set aside every year to commemorate the achievements of the labor movement globally. Now, for more insight on May Day celebration, we have in the studio Comrade Ishola Adejumo. He is the chairman of the Radio Television, the Lagos State chairman of the Radio Television, Theatre and Arts Union of Nigeria. You're welcome, Comrade.
Thank you.
Welcome to Saturday Review.
Thank you for having me.
All right. The annual, the yearly celebration of May Day is an age-long tradition amongst workers. What does this mean to workers?
Yeah, globally, Workers' Day is a day set aside by the United Nations to celebrate workers globally, and Nigeria is not an exception in this regard. That is why we Nigerian workers under the umbrella of Nigerian Labour Congress, we have been part and parcel of this celebration. And in Lagos State in particular, this year's celebration is going to be unique in the sense that the theme for this year's celebration is workers' rights and socio-economic justice. And we will agree with me that the current economic reality of Nigeria today has really, put Nigerian workers behind the bar, in the sense that we are not really, enjoying the service. Most of our workers are, embarking or traveling. So many of them have, traumatized because of the poor remuneration. And that is why this year we are going to be more focused to engage the new government that is coming on board, so that the workers can have a good package moving forward.
Speaking of good package,
yes.
Let's talk about the peculiar allowance. All right. Recently, the federal government paid. There was a paid remuneration to civil servants, and some media reports had it that the federal government had begun a 40% pay rise to civil servants. What the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria dismissed the report and said what the federal government has done is to ensure the harmonization of what agencies earn in the core civil service. What is your reaction to that?
Yes, the Association of Senior Civil Servants, they are quite right. before now, the federal government have been looking passionately into the plight of Nigerian workers, because when you look at some of the salary scale we have in Nigeria, the least and the worst of it all is the COMS, Consolidated Public Salary Structure, which some of us fall under. And if you look at that the salary structure, it's nothing to write home about. It is not a living wage in that category. Some of our contemporaries in other parastatals and agencies are earning fabulously and they are more comfortable. So the disparity that has existed over the years is what necessitated the need for government, without even struggling or fighting any battle. They have analyzed it with experts and they realize that this disparity must be bridged, and that is why the essence of the peculiarity allowance come on board. And 40% of what we are earning now is what government has pushed to bridge that gap, at least for the first step moving forward. That is not the end, because the Nigerian workers, we are expecting more from this government, because we have been very dedicated, we have been very committed and loyal to the government. Very, very resilient workers, because in the midst of the economic crunch, everybody still keep faith and trust the government and support the government policy. So in this regard, we believe government should reciprocate this gesture by giving us a befitting and a very living wage, so that the worker can be more motivated and committed to their duty.
So are you saying the peculiar allowance is not enough?
Actually, it's not as if it's not enough. We appreciate the federal government for this kind of gesture. It has been in the pipeline for now. That's what I'm telling you. And the economy, the inflation rate has really struck up this wage, this allowance, so to say. But moving forward, we know minimum wage is still coming up on stream. This is not minimum wage. It's just to do a kind of harmonization, as said by the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, to ensure that there is not much gap. Because we are going to the same market, we go to the same, we enter the same public transport, we buy the same fuel, we consumable. Look at the consumer price index, that's gone up. The inflation about 24, so to say. So we are living, in fact, under abject poverty. Most category of work under that comes, but we thank God it's a good gesture, and we encourage the government to do more, and we will support the government to do more, so that the worker can be better.
There are also speculations that when the fuel subsidy is eventually removed, the impact of the peculiar allowance would be less felt. What are your thoughts on that?
Actually, the issue of subsidy is something that has been in the front burner for a long time, and the perennial effect of all this removal. Even before the removal, look at fuel scarcity experience we've experienced. Look at all sorts of the subsidy removal needs to be well negotiated with the government. That is just it. It's not that subsidy removal is not good. It's good, but the government must be truthful. They must come open, so that all the stakeholders will buy into it and ensure that the proceeds that will be derived from the removal will be plugged into public transportation, improve public transportation. Health sector must be funded. The subsidy on the consumables, so people can now live a better life. But what that is not guarantee. People will be suspicious that government will remove the subsidy and people will now be living in abject poverty to buy fuel as not less than, at least being speculated now, maybe 500 or 600 naira. So where is the impact of the peculiarity we are talking about? It has been eroded by the inflation already. But we keep faith with God and trust this government that they will do something to ameliorate the suffering of Nigerian workers.
So as Nigerian workers celebrate your day, what are some of the demands?
I've said it earlier on. We want a good working condition, a good welfare package for Nigerian workers, and retirement benefits that will be sustainable, that will give an average worker on a service an assurance that when you leave service, you can live a decent life. But what we are having today, is not thing to write them about, and these are our demands, and that is why the theme for this year's celebration is workers' rights and socio-economic justice. We want an egalitarian society, an egalitarian system in the sense that everybody will be equally treated, because we are going to the same market, we are using the same means of exchange. It's not as if people in the private sector or people who are earning above those in the category of the comps are the people that should be enjoying. And most of our politicians, They are taking a lot of fabulous allowances that cannot even be disclosed to the public. And that is why we want to engage them constructively and ensure that they bring the best for us. And we want to trust this coming administration that, going by the background of our incoming president, being an activist and also a politician of repute, he will listen to Nigerian workers and do the needful so that he will, be celebrated.
All right. So, what's your final submission as International Workers' Days Month?
We in Lagos State under the Nigerian Labour Congress, we want to salute the patience, appreciate the patience of Nigerian workers, their doggedness, their resilience, their patriotism, keeping faith with the government and believe in the policy trust of government to this extent. And moving forward, we want to assure them that Nigerian Labour Congress and the Nigerian Trade Union Congress, in collaboration for the celebration of this year, May Day 2023, we are going to put all the shuttle of demand before the government, and their plight will be better off moving forward by the grace of Almighty God. We want everybody to come out on Monday, 1st of May, to join us at Onikon Stadium, where the march pass and the celebration will be taking place, so that all workers can be part of this memorable event.
Right now, with all that you said, are you saying it's a luta continua?
Surely a luta continua victory is certain for all Nigerian workers, and we will all celebrate as this new administration is about to come on stream by May 29. We will give our support and pray for the government to succeed.
Thank you so much, Comrade Ishola Dejumo. Thank you so much for coming on Saturday Review.
Thank you.
All right, I have been speaking with the Lagos State Chairman of Radio, Theatre and Art.
Radio, Television, Theatre and Art Workers Union of Nigeria, RATAU, and I am the State Publicity Secretary of NSC in Lagos State at the moment. I'm speaking on behalf of my leader, Comrade Agnes Fomisesi. With her permission, I'm here so that we can lend our voice and give full assurance to Nigerian workers that we are there for them and will always be there for them.
Once again, thank you so much for coming on Saturday Review.
Thank you. It's my
pleasure. All
pleasure.
right, Saturday Review continues as we take a look at the weather forecast across Lagos Metropolis. Alright, that's the size of our package of Saturday Review on NTA Lagos Channel 10. Many thanks for your time. I am S.C. Owamaka. Good evening.
And hit the jackpot. Log into the 1xBet account. Click on the Take Part button. Place bet and take part in the jackpot draw. Feel like a winner with 1xBet. Use promo code to get a bonus on your first deposit.
How market? My country people, how market? How market na una omonge program to showcase to una different markets wey boku for markets all over Lagos, whether na clothes, home appliances, electronics, provisions, foodstuff and any type of goods wey you dey find. Name am. How market na the show for una. You go fit know where dem dey sell am and how much dem dey sell am. And if you be market seller and you dey find program to showcase your product, goods and services, na How Market be the show for you o. Join us every Wednesday by 7:30 p.m. on your ogbonge station for excellence, NTA Lagos Channel 10. For more inquiries, make una call 080. We dey ready for una.
Lucky Spring from 1xBet. Take part in promotion with cool prizes. Bet on any sports events. Get tickets. Have a chance to win cool prizes. The more you bet, the greater your chances. Use promo code to get a welcome bonus right now.
There is only one station that others look up to. A station where professionalism and class come to play. So in whatever we do, be it news, sports, politics, information and culture, even in entertainment, tourism, education, documentaries and kids programming, we set the standard others want to beat. NTA Ch10, no one does it better. NTA Ch10, station for excellence.
Jackpot of the week. Place bets and hit the jackpot. Log into the 1xBet account. Click on the Take Part button. Place bet and take part in the jackpot draw. Feel like a winner with 1xBet. Use promo code to get a bonus on your first deposit.
The children are our future, so it's crucial we communicate with them on Family Talk with Lamide. Join us on Family Talk with Lamide as motivational TV personality. Lamide Adenuga delivers leadership and human capacity development content to our future leaders within and outside Nigeria. We also tackle social ills like bullying, drug abuse, peer pressure, depression, internet fraud,